I visited Malawi last year. I started kind of videoing my time there, and I thought it was too much of a great opportunity not to make a documentary on it.
My name's Katie and I was in Malawi for about 2 months, and when I was there I worked in the orphanages and I was a teacher at the school.
At first, when I seen the other volunteers kind of standing up and teaching and like shouting over all the children, and I thought I'm never going to have the confidence to do that. I was just so overwhelmed. I felt like I had to do it because I wasn't there for too long.
I visited Malawi in October 2014 to celebrate the 10-year working partnership with Malawi in Lilongwe.
They love learning. What they do is actually to encourage the children to get up. Once they stand up and they recite something back, that child would stand and do a dance at the end and do a wee song for you. It was so funny. When I first seen it, they were like shaking their hips about, and I was like, what are they doing? But to them it's just normal and they love it. They love getting that attention.
What was amazing to see was the children still came to school even though they knew that it was their holidays. They were so willing to learn.
In the afternoon we would go and we were doing like art projects. So we were painting the walls for them in the library, and we were like getting their handprints and making trees and things in the walls, and they loved it. We were all just getting really excited about being messy because they never really get to do stuff like that. And just watching them being creative as well. So I think the academic side isn't just important, it's the creative side as well. English is hard to learn, but everyone can relate to creativity.
Some of the schools were excellent and the numbers in the class weren't too bad. And when I say not too bad, it was about 70. But one of the schools that I went to, there was 300 young children, primary one, being taught under 3 trees. But at the same time, they're at school, they're being educated, and they're also getting the meal, which makes it a great place for them to go to.
The main thing I've taken away is connections with people, and if people mean something to you, then hold on to that. There's not enough time for disliking people and moaning about people. Like, they're all so happy. You've never seen happier people in your life, and I just feel like, why isn't everyone like that? Everyone should act like they're a family. Everyone should be friends with everyone.
I miss probably the people the most. Probably everyone would say that. Their attitude, their ways of life, very different but very inspiring. They don't have very much, but they just are very happy with their lives, and I should remember to be like that more often.
When we say children have nothing, in Malawi we really mean nothing. The clothes that they have on is normally the only clothes that they have.
One of the teachers actually invited me over to their house for lunch.
I hope I do not cause offence, but we had sima, which is the local cuisine, and I'm afraid it's not really my taste.
So Martha actually got to make this in like their kitchen, which was like a wee shed outside.
You make sure you stay fast so that it does not have crumbs, right? Yeah. Until it's very thick, that like a duck that you can't eat it. Yeah, you can't do it anymore. It's hard work.
Yes, hard work. Oh, was it smoke?
Yeah.
That's it.
What?
You see now, that is the actual way now. It's not just the steering.
Too good.
In that way.
Yeah.
Can you try maybe to put it in the plate? Yeah. I mean, she's going to tell you what to do after. Yeah. Can you try to do it?
How did you find that, Martha?
Very hard work. Arm hurts.
They gave us loads of chips and stuff, so we were stuffed, and then they were like eat the fish now. Everything was on it, and we were just kind of like, Pedros was actually laughing at my face. He couldn't stop laughing because he was like, we eat the full thing, including the bones, the eyes, the head, the tail, everything.
One thing which was more funny to me was that really I asked you to take the head of a fish. You said, no, this is one thing which I cannot which I cannot do. So to us, really, whenever we are feeding, we can't even throw that head away. We need to take it because it is more delicious than even the flesh itself. So really, I was happy to notice that you felt really to take the head of the fish. Thank you.
To them it was luxury, but we walked in and there wasn't any wallpaper. It was decorated with calendars that volunteers had took over from years before. It had couches, they had springs popping out, you couldn't really properly sit on them, but they had it and that was a lot to them. I moan about my house all the time and I moan about the noise all my family make, and then you think we've got nothing to moan about. They don't have doors in their house. If one of them makes noise, they're going to hear it and they're sleeping on a floor, but that's meant to be luxury to them. So to me, it's just when you're there, you do not realise really how bad it is, and when you get back, it kind of does hit you a lot.
I have a two-year-old granddaughter and myself, and when I was there was a number of babies of that age, and when I look at what she has here and what the children had there, was completely worlds and worlds apart. But in saying that, they were very well looked after and they had a nice environment for them to grow up in.
I remember we just walked on this dirt path and went along to the road, and we just stood there and I said, oh, do we order a taxi here? And he laughed and I was like, what's happening? And there was no one around, like nothing, no one. And he was like, oh, we're waiting on a Matola.
We've been on for 3 hours. Can't move. No. Isn't white the sick.
Oh dear Lord. There is a bed on the Matola. Not space for people, but space for a bed.
This is going on. My bike is coming on.
Oh no, the mattress is staying on. The mattress is back on. Oh my God, there's no space for it.
One of the highlights when I was in Malawi was we had a big party at the house, which is something they haven't done before apparently. I was very honoured. I was chuffed that we could invite all our friends that we had made when we were there. We were able to invite teachers, and that was so fun. They're hilarious. Just love to have a good dance, really do. No shame, like dance as if no one's watching, they really did. 100% would tell people to go and volunteer. Not only did I get to go to Africa, which I'd never done before, I think Malawi, for people who haven't been to Africa especially, it's a really good starting point.
Yes, I would absolutely encourage people to go to Malawi. And for me it was life-changing, and I know that many of our young people from the secondary schools go out to Malawi and they have came back and said to me that it was life-changing for them.
It's something that I would encourage everyone to do, and I can't emphasise that enough. It completely changed the way I see everything. They will never forget the volunteers that went over, not just myself, everyone.